What up? What up? What up? Welcome to the Live Game episode 148. Herman? Herman?
Oh, for 8. Yeah, there we go.
This is your average man's perspective on football. I'm your co-host Marcus. Join me in the panel tonight is Herman. Say what up, Herman.
Hey.
Next up, we got Brian. Say what up, Brian.
Thank you for joining us.
I'm the one selling the records. They coming to see me. They coming to see the Temptations. Ain't nobody coming to see you, host.
And last but never least, we got Mark. Say what up, Mark.
Here we go. Please.
Good evening.
And me, I'm 56 years
Oh,
old.
he must have got a new board.
I didn't.
I'm sorry.
Before we get
That might
started,
be the first time the show since we've been doing the show this week this year.
I think
It all
so.
up work.
I think so. I think it is. But it's a New Year's miracle. That's what it is. Before we get started, I want to encourage everyone to like, share, and subscribe, especially if you're watching on YouTube. You can join us in our Facebook group, The Live Game. We're on Twitter/X at The Live Game 3 and on Instagram at The Official Delay of Game. So we got one more week into the before the playoffs start. This is the last week of regular season football. We got a lot of games where you win or you in. I think we got 5 this week winning in games. We also got some teams fighting for higher spots in the playoffs that have already made it. Brian is hosting tonight. Go ahead and start us off, Brian.
All right, thank you, Marcus, and again, thank everybody for joining us tonight. Like Marcus said, man, this is a big week coming up. A lot of teams are on the bubble trying to make the playoffs, and the NFL was smart enough to, change up the rules and made these games more important than what it was in our youth. So, what we'll do is get started with the the news of the week. We'll then proceed to our hot topics. Talk about the games we predicted last week, and then we'll have our new prediction for the week coming up. First news of the week is for Marcus. Please take it away.
Via NFL.com's Neil Reynolds, his 2023 Weekend 18 power rankings going into the last week of football. He is number 10, Houston Texans, down 1 spot from last week. The Philadelphia Eagles down 2 spots from last week. I'm surprised they fall farther than that.
Right.
Cleveland Browns up 1 spot from last week. The Kansas City Chiefs at number 7, down 1 spot from last week. Number 6, Detroit Lions, down 1 spot from last week. Number 5, the Buffalo Bills, down 1 spot from last week. They won and went down. Miami Dolphins up 1 spot from last week. They lost and went up. That's weird. Dallas Cowboy up 2 spots from last week.
Who?
Number 3, Dallas Cowboys. You heard it.
Yeah, number 3.
Number 2, San Francisco 49ers up. Same spot from last week. And number 1, of course, the Baltimore Ravens, same spot from last week.
All right, Herman, what's your story?
All right. Miami Dolphins star receiver Tyreek Hill and his family are safe after firefighters responded to a large fire at his home. Fire Marshal Robert Taylor of the Davies Fire Rescue Department told ESPN that the cause of the fire was unclear as of Wednesday afternoon. Nobody living in the 9,300 square foot Berkshire courthouse located about 30 miles northwest of Miami was harmed, according to Taylor. Team officials said Hill was made aware of the incident during Wednesday's practice and left to attend to the matter. So, thank goodness everybody was safe.
Did you see any of the footage of that?
Mm-hmm.
He was in a walking boot, I guess, for his ankle.
Oh, really? I didn't pay attention to him. I was looking at the fire.
Yeah, the fire was bad, but they had a shot of him and a young lady walking, and he had a walking boot on. I guess that helps to keep his ankle secure for the games.
Yeah, that's his wife.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
I thought Brian was about to talk about the fire too, but stay talking about that.
All right. The next news story is mine. On Sunday, Carolina Panthers owner David Tepper lost his cool at the Jaguars fans after a Bryce Young interception late in the game. Tepper threw a drink at Jaguars fans. Video of the incident was posted online. The NFL reviewed the footage and found Tepper's conduct was unacceptable, and he was fined $300,000 for the incident. Tepper did issue an apology stating, I am deeply passionate about this team and regret my behavior on Sunday. I should have let NFL stadium security handle any issues that arose. I respect the NFL's code of conduct and accept the league's discipline for my behavior. So the billionaire gets $300,000, which is like a tip.
Probably $300.
Hey, let me just say this.
Yeah.
Let me just say this. Josh Harris or Magic Johnson, you can throw a drink on me anytime, any day.
Yeah, no lie. Well, the fans didn't get that money now. That was NFL fine.
I mean, you're gonna get the money to get a Drake joint. You know where this is hot.
Oh, once that alcohol got in my eyes and burned my eyes, and I couldn't
now
see.
I can't see forever.
Shoot.
What is it, Herman? I'm blinded for life.
Right.
So it's funny. Daniel Snyder, he left the NFL, and he handed his beer to David Tepper.
David
Let
Tepper,
me get that beer. Sir.
Absolutely.
Let me be the biggest F up
Tell me about it.
owner in NFL football.
All right, Mark, what's your story?
All right, the last news story I got the Baltimore Ravens coach John Harbaugh said Monday he hasn't made a decision on whether NFL MVP favorite Lamar Jackson will start Saturday against the Pittsburgh Steelers, a game that has no ramification for Baltimore. The Ravens clinched the AFC North title as well as the AFC's number 1 seed in Sunday's 56-19 win over the Miami Dolphins. We've got to kind of work through the injury part of it first. Harbaugh says they'll take us probably 24 to 48 hours to get the real handle on that, and then we'll make a decision. We're not going to keep it a secret. We'll let you know what we're going to do once we start practicing. Wednesday, if Jackson doesn't play, he would have at least 19-day break in between games. Baltimore would play host a divisional round game on January the 20th or the 21st.
And just to update Mark's story, he's not playing. Tyler Huntley is starting.
Yeah, that's gamesmanship.
You know what's funny is I was watching this one program on Sports Talk Haram on one of these channels, and they got this huge stupid math debate about how many days it was. Like two guys were saying it's 3 weeks, 21 days, and one guy was arguing it wasn't. When it actually almost is 19 days, so it is almost three weeks.
Yeah, it's almost yeah. And then real quick, you remember last time they did this was in 2019 when they set him out pretty much for the regular season game. And then they played the Titans, and they didn't play so well. He ended up, throwing 2 interceptions, fumbling the ball. So they kind of blame it on the being a little rust. So
I don't believe in that.
And he also won the MVP that year. Might win it this year, so might be looking for too many repeats.
Yeah,
But no, I agree though. I agree with Harbaugh. I wouldn't start him either.
There's no way.
Yeah.
Could you imagine if he got hurt?
Right.
Man,
right.
Exactly.
Oh my God, they may kill Harbaugh.
Especially with Lamar's history too.
That dude would get roasted. Man.
So that is a smart thing to do is to set him.
And Marcus, your boy is starting for the Rams.
Why is he my boy?
Because he was with your team.
I mean, he was with a million teams. Why
he wasn't a million teams. He was with the Washington Commanders last.
He was with Philadelphia Eagles. He was with the
Colts. And who is we talking about?
Wentz, Carson Wentz. He's starting for Matthew Stafford.
Hey, so look, my cousin Juan said that's assault.
Yeah, he's right.
Yeah.
He's right. I mean, technically, it is assault.
Oh yeah,
I guess he would.
Down on that one. I might even fall on the drink after he threw it on me. I'm falling.
I slipped and fell.
Bro,
I want this whole stadium.
Yeah. It's a lawsuit coming.
We can settle it. We can settle it.
We can settle it out of court. Just give me
the
me the revenue for the beer sales every Sunday. That's all I want.
Right.
Was this game in Carolina?
Yeah.
What's the Jaguars game doing? They travel like that? What are they doing in Carolina?
It might have been a Panthers fan he threw it on. Shoot.
What do you mean?
Because I thought he threw it on Jaguars.
Or was it in? That game
how many?
What you about to say, Alan?
You said was the game what?
The game was in Carolina, wasn't it? I think it was in Carolina.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Surprised he was a Jaguars fan. I've never seen a Jaguars fan.
Wow.
You're a terrible person.
Wow, I was saying I've never seen a Jaguars fan. How many you seen, Brian? You seen a lot of Jaguar fans?
Yeah, I've seen Jaguar fans before.
I ain't seen
And Marcus, we go to the draft every year. There's a bunch of them. What are you talking about?
They must have slipped past my peripherals.
Oh, we go through and try to find every team.
Yeah,
Hold on,
we
Brian,
literally
Brian.
do. We literally
Let me,
do.
Brian, real quick. Let me refresh the old man. You remember one of the trips we took? We took the subway. Guess who was riding the train with us? 2 Jaguar fans.
That was
took
in
a subway?
Cleveland.
That was
That was in
Cleveland.
Cleveland.
That was
It was
Cleveland.
2 Jaguar fans.
Okay. Like I said,
They
you
were,
know,
they were on television. It was a man and a lady. They were on television.
okay, I think I do remember that. I
You're
do
gonna
remember that.
stop.
It's water.
We're
I'm
gonna
trying to keep
stop.
my what?
No, you know I see what's on that bottle. Okay, first you had the little cup. Now you doing a little too. Look, Ava, you gonna start sending me some of this stuff. You gonna stop teasing me every time we do a new show, man.
I got cups galore.
Good Lord. All right, so let's get into these hot topics. They're pretty quick and pretty straightforward, so we shouldn't spend a lot of time on them, Marcus.
Long-winded.
Why?
Mark.
I'm not the long-winded one. I don't know why you
Of
keep
course
putting
you're
that on me.
not. The first sound of the long-winded one is denial, but that's a whole nother conversation.
Oh my god.
All right, first question, you guys. Would Joe Flacco be a Hall of Famer if he wins another Super Bowl with the Cleveland Browns? Now, technically, he's already won one with the old Cleveland Browns, who is the Baltimore Ravens now. But what do you think, Mark? You think that old Flacco, if he has this resurgence and wins the Super Bowl this year, he would be classified a Hall of Famer?
Man, Joe Flacco is 38 years of age. He is coming off the sofa and to lead the Cleveland Browns to the Super Bowl. Hell yeah, baby! I'm voting for him for Hall of Fame. I think he does. He got 2 championship rings with 2 different teams, and I mean, the only other, you look at how this whole season started, where you thought we were going to see some of this out of Rodgers. We saw it last year with Tom Brady, meaning the age-old quarterback still playing like he's young. We didn't really see that until Flacco stopped playing now. So disregard what else he's done in the past. He's got 1 championship. If he gets another one with the Cleveland Browns, who've never won a Super Bowl, oh yeah, he's getting my vote for Hall of Famer for sure, definitely.
What you think, Herman?
Hold on, real quick. Did y'all see that clip when they was making fun of Joe Flacco? He was falling asleep on the sideline.
Sleep on the
Yeah.
sideline.
It was like why y'all schedule this late game?
I think I have to agree with Mark. Now he may not be first ballot, and Mark, I think you were getting ready to mention this. Only 2 other quarterbacks have done that to get a Super Bowl with 2 teams, and that's Peyton Manning and that's Tom Brady. I mean, look at the class that puts him in. And then on top of that, Joe Flacco is 18th all-time in passing yards, so he's top 20, and he's 13th all-time in completions. So the only thing I didn't see was where he was ranked in passing touchdowns, and he wasn't in the top 20 on that. But I could probably overlook that because, like Mark said, he's 38 years old. He came off the couch, and this dude could possibly lead the Cleveland Browns to a Super Bowl win. So if he gets that win, I think he has to go in the Hall of Fame.
Hey, look, they got a statue of Jim Brown up near Cleveland Stadium. They will be putting a statue of Joe Flacco next to him.
They probably would.
Yeah, it'd be tough to keep him out. It would be really tough if he was able to accomplish this. The only negative I kind of put on this one is that he wasn't the starter at the beginning of the season. And I'm just saying, and that Cleveland defense has been winning a lot of games for them. But in Flacco's defense, since Flacco's been there, I think he has like 6 300-yard games. So it's not like Flacco is just, riding the pine and just trying to keep the running game going. He's actually throwing that ball and lighting up teams. So it would be tough. And then I think about Eli Manning. Everybody keeps going on and on about Eli.
We know
Eli
he's
kind
off the name.
Yeah.
He's going to get in because of his name.
Yeah, but, if Eli got 2 Super Bowls and he gets in, man, I think Flacco should get in too. So I'm with you guys.
Point.
Let's go, Flacco.
Yeah.
All right, Marcus, what you think?
Well, you kind of stole my thunder, Brian. But Herman, you said Flacco is he's ranked what in passing yards?
18th. So,
So that was
top 20.
so right now he currently has 43,936 passing yards. And there's someone else who has 57,023 passing yards, who has also won 2 Super Bowls, who Brian just mentioned, who also beat the undefeated Patriots. That would be Eli Manning. If Eli doesn't get in, Joe Flacco shouldn't get in. Period. His Eli Manning's stats are better. He has more passing yards, more touchdowns. He leads Flacco in all those categories.
He also has a terrible record, though. He's 500 in his games.
It wouldn't matter. He has 2 Super Bowls, and
he's never won MVP. Didn't
Flacco? Neither Flacco.
We know
he won the Super Bowl MVP.
You know Eli's getting in. You know
he was
why?
the MVP of the Super Bowl.
Not just that. They beat an undefeated Patriots team.
Yeah,
they stopped,
and they beat him twice. So
yeah, they're getting. He's
getting.
Well, I don't know. Brian was acting like everybody's bringing up Eli. That's why they're bringing up Eli because Eli.
I don't think Eli's a Hall of Famer, but he's going to get in.
Well, if you think Joe Flacco's a Hall of Famer, then Eli has to be a Hall of Famer. He has to be.
Look at Eli's record. He's 500.
It doesn't matter.
That absolutely matters.
His stats are better than Flacco's.
The main thing.
His stats are better than Flacco's.
What are you talking about?
His stats are better than Flacco's. So I would say
statistics do not get you into the Hall of Fame as a quarterback.
I think you're wrong.
Super Bowls do. Super Bowls do.
And Eli has 2.
Kind of do.
And Dan Marino got no Super Bowls. He in the Hall of Fame.
Yeah, but he was an anomaly at a
time. Bill Kelly don't have no Super Bowls. He in the Hall of Fame.
Hold on, Dan Marino had a passing. He had records before that and all. So he still still deserved to be in there.
What's a Buffalo's old quarterback? What's a Jim Kelly? Jim Kelly.
Oh, yeah, Jim Kelly.
He went to 4 Super Bowls.
He went to 4 Super Bowls.
Don't have no rings.
He went to 4.
Don't have no. They win one.
It's just me and you, Mark. Oh, Herman's back.
Oh, I dropped out. Oh wow.
Yeah.
So if Eli gets in, then I say yes for Flacco. If not, then no for Flacco.
Just no. On his own merit, should Flacco get in?
I'm gonna say no.
Okay.
If he wins another Super Bowl, he does. You say no.
Okay, I say yeah.
And the worst part, the topper is it's the Cleveland Browns.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Well, he should be in the Cleveland Browns Hall of Ring of Honor.
He'll definitely be there, but
yeah.
But I mean, to get the Cleveland Browns, if you get the Cleveland Browns or the Lions or some of these teams that have never really won. Wait, Cleveland won a championship, not a Super Bowl, right?
Yeah, they won a championship. They won
championship back in the day.
Yeah. So
I think the Lions too have won championship. I think they won.
Yeah, the Lions just won, but they didn't win it. You know, this other team above, they was posting about their championships instead of Super Bowls. But
who you talking?
Remember last year, Washington had up their championships, and never mind. I'm getting off topic. Stop being long-winded, Marcus. Let's talk about this next.
You being long-winded, sir.
No, sir. All right, this is the hottest topic of all hot topics this week. Did the ref get it right calling the illegal touching penalty on the 2-point conversion play in the Lions-Cowboys game Saturday night?
Okay, before this question gets answered, I'd like to remind everyone watching we have 2 biased people on the panel, so you can't take their opinion very lightly. Okay.
Well, since we're biased, I'll let you go first.
So you let Mark go first. Go ahead, Mark.
Mark, would you like to go first? Mark just went first. Herman, was it a penalty?
It don't matter. You know, when I first saw the play, I was thinking Detroit got robbed. I saw him walk over towards the official, say something to him, and the official almost like walk away like he ignored him, kind of. After reviewing the whole situation and seeing the full footage of what took place, I don't think they were robbed. I think that the communication was bad. Upon the rule of the NFL on what he's supposed to do, there's a motion. There's 2 things you need to do: alert the ref, and there's a motion you're supposed to do to let them know that you're eligible receiver. And this is the move you're supposed to do. I did not see Decker, number 68, do that. I saw Skipper, number 70, do it. I did not see Decker. So based on the fact of the rules and what you're supposed to do once you attach the ref, I don't think they got it wrong based on what I saw after watching the videotape. Now, I will say this. I think Detroit tried to fool Dallas and to make them think that they didn't know which lineman was going to be out there, but it kind of ended up turning the tides on them. So based on the rule, they did not. The officials did not get this wrong. Now you see they made a statement afterwards that the NFL said that you must do both going forward. It's your responsibility to alert the ref to let them know, hey, look, I am an eligible receiver. You've got to do both of them.
And verbally,
make sure that you identify as that.
Yep.
And Detroit, from the looks of things, did not do that properly, or there was a lack of communication on their side on why it did not get across to the ref. So, no, I don't think the refs screwed this one up based on what I saw at the video.
So, Marcus, it looks like we're not all haters. Herman, what do you think?
So, have y'all heard the saying, play stupid games, win stupid prizes? They won a stupid prize. Okay, I'm going to start off with that first. I was at the game. So I did because that's important. I was at the game, and the referee clearly announced number 70 is reporting as eligible. He also went over to the Cowboys and told them number 70 is reporting as eligible. Okay, so Detroit had plenty of time to fix that. All right, play stupid games, win stupid prizes. All right. Secondly, this is what I always talk to y'all about with these offensive coordinators and these coaches that want to get cute and get pretty and do stupid stuff. You know, you've been in the NFL. Dan Campbell's been in the NFL forever, okay, coaching and a player. You know that they're gonna go tell the team who's eligible. All right, it's part of the rules. It's part of the process. Lastly, what's my train of thought? Everybody's assuming that Dallas wasn't going to cover 68, or if they had told the right number, Dallas wouldn't have covered them. Why wouldn't Dallas have covered them? If you go back and look at the film, they're covering 70. So if they had said 68, they would have covered 68. So no, the refs did not get this one wrong. What the refs did get wrong was that phantom tripping call that happened.
We're not talking about that. We're not talking about that.
And that wouldn't even.
Hey, he can talk about whatever he wants.
We're not talking about it.
So, did the refs get it wrong? No. Detroit, you play stupid games, you win stupid prizes. Period.
Are you ready, Marcus? Or
Yeah, I'm ready.
Go first. Okay,
I'm ready. I was going to say something different, but I guess listening to YouTube Bammers, you kind of convinced me that okay.
Say what you really feel.
I felt at first it was that they got it wrong, but after hearing what you guys said, you made good points. I would have to say, okay, they did get it right. They were obviously trying to fool the Cowboys, and the thing ended. What's his name? 68 Decker was not the eligible receiver, but the other dude was number 70, and it backfired. But I think the biggest travesty is that once it failed, Dan Campbell decided that he still was going to go for that 2-point conversion instead of kicking that
extra point.
Because they're kicking that extra point this time the game and they're going to overtime. Now, I do believe that the Cowboys have got the ball first in overtime. I do believe they would have probably. Well,
I don't know.
I think the Cowboys would have. The Cowboys got the ball first. I think they would have scored a touchdown. It'd have been over.
I don't know.
Maybe that's what he was scared of or whatnot. I mean, some say,
Bless you, Herman.
We should go for it. Yeah, you got to play aggressive. I don't know if that was the time to play aggressive. I don't know. Maybe I didn't really pay attention to the standings. Maybe they didn't lose anything or win anything in the standings. They didn't drop or go up in the standings from losing that game. But I just felt like, especially once the penalty came in, and once you should just kick the extra point and let it ride out.
They could have won the number 2 seed if they had beat Dallas.
Well, in that case, that makes it extra stupid. You should have just gave up on it and just. But like I said last week when we were picking this game, that I thought that CeeDee Lamb and Dak was going to tear him up, and they did. And that's probably what Dan Campbell was scared of. If they get the ball in overtime, they're going to walk down the field and score a touchdown. But after I was going to say the refs got it wrong, but after hearing you guys talk, I'm going to say no, they didn't. Brian, you still with us?
Brian, yeah.
I think Brian's gone.
Don't look like it. Uh-oh.
Okay.
It's his turn to give the opinion too.
Hey, one other thing I'm gonna make about Detroit is, they've been on the side of some bad calls in the NFL history. You look at Aaron Rodgers.
He's back.
Yeah,
he's back.
Look, that's the first time I've been gone. I thought all y'all was gone. I'm like, where y'all go?
Being on Aaron Rodgers, that Hail Mary pass at time. Also, the Calvin Johnson reception, which changed the rules for receiving. They've been on the bad end of some calls through NFL history. Go ahead, Brian.
Yeah, I like what Herman said. And the point too is that when Dan Campbell said he went and he told the refs before the game, I'm going to do this particular play. That's all fine and dandy. He sends not one, not two, but three linemen over to this referee to try to fool the Cowboys. Is basically what he was trying to do. He's trying to get the Cowboys confused, but I'm trying to figure out how you can be confused when the Cowboys, they have to tell you which one is available. Which one is in. So you can do all this hubbub and playing around, but point blank is A, you should have just sent the one dude out there. B, when you heard them say, like Herman said in the stands, number 70 is eligible, and you're throwing a 68, why are you not calling a timeout? Why are you still trying to run this play when you already know that your player was not said that he was being eligible?
True.
So that was on Dan right there. Point blank period. Now I ain't gonna lie, when it happened, I was very happy, but I did think that the Lions and the shows like afterwards were very confusing and nobody made a point. One official was trying to say that even if he was eligible, he was covered up by a wide receiver, so he still wasn't supposed to catch the ball. So I didn't know what was going on. But once I heard the point that he said number 70 is eligible, that's when you're supposed to be the coach and you're supposed to stop. Or you could have been Goff. Goff knew what was going on. Goff could have stopped it. So it was all on the Lions. It was a nice play, but they just didn't.
Did they have any timeouts at that point in the game?
They would have reset the play clock because it would probably have been a official error. So they probably, even if they didn't have a timeout, they probably would have reset the clock. I don't remember if they had a timeout or not, but it's on them. It wasn't even loud in the stadium at that point when he announced that 70 was eligible. It didn't get loud until they got on the ball. So it wasn't like they didn't hear it. Could hear it.
And Rev, that's not true. They just came out with that. Not only do you have to do this, but you have to say something as well.
Yeah, you have to verbally say it now too.
Look, it is an unbiased opinion. It is a fact.
Man,
these are facts.
That's an Eagles fan, man. You ain't got to explain nothing else.
All right, guys, that was a good hot topic. Let's and I'm actually glad because I needed to get that off my chest. It was irritating me. I was going to call some stations because I was so upset about that thing. All right, so let's get into last week's games. The first game we're going to talk about is the Thursday night game. It was the 6-9 Jets at the 10-5 Browns. The Browns basically dominated the Jets 37-20. The Browns lit the Jets defense up, 428 offensive yards, and they were 3 out of 5 in the red zone. They also rushed for 127 yards, and Flacco was only sacked once. In this game, Marcus, who did you have?
I picked the Browns. You got to be crazy to pick the Jets this point in the season. Pretty much any point after Aaron Rodgers got hurt. And, like I said, their defense has been hot lately. And Joe Flacco's, he's looking like he's ready to win the Super Bowl. So, of course, I picked the Browns, and I was right.
Herman?
Yeah, I picked the Browns in this one. I'm believing in Joe Flacco. I laughed when they signed him. But I believe in Joe Flacco, and what he's doing is crazy. It was 19 for 29, 309 yards passing, and 3 touchdowns. And he's 38 years old. And
he scrambled. Did you see the scramble?
Yeah, he's moving too. So. But yeah, I picked the Browns. I got this one right.
Yeah, I was with you guys. I also picked the Browns, and I thought the Browns defense alone could beat the Jets without even Flacco involved. But with Flacco lighting it up, I mean, this game was over pretty quick. So I picked the Browns. I picked this one right. Mark, who did you have?
I was along with you guys too. I took the Browns, man. Joe Flacco had another stellar performance, throwing for 296 yards in the first half. Remember, he did this without Amari Cooper in the game. He ended up getting banged up and coming out. So that was another thing. The Jets defense, I didn't think they would be able to do be able to do this much against the Jets defense, to be honest with you. But the other funny thing we talked about was Flacco falling asleep on the sideline.
He was out too late. You know, at 38-year-old father of five, you know,
how much longer for this game is over?
I got me out past 9. Y'all know.
All right, the next game we're going to talk about is the game we kind of just talked about. The 11-4 Lions were at the 10-5 Cowboys. Cowboys came out on top, 20-19. Game was close statistically. Total plays was 67 for the Lions and 62 for the Cowboys. Time of possession was close, 30 minutes and 36 seconds for the Lions, 29 minutes, 24 seconds for the Cowboys. And the Lions did outrush the Cowboys, 125 yards to 61 yards. In this particular game, of course, y'all know I picked the Cowboys. The Cowboys came out on top. The defense did what it had to do. It wasn't a robbery. It wasn't a jinx. It was a victory, and that's what we all need.
The defense did what they had to do.
Yeah, the defense was shutting them down for the most part. They played soft that last drive, but for the most part, every time your boy goes for it on fourth down a little too much, Okay?
He's nervous. You know, this they trying to make this the year.
He's getting a little ridiculous with it. Sometimes you just got to take the.
I mean, if you look at how CeeDee Lamb was lighting the butt up, he was scared.
But you could win the toss. I mean, you're the visiting team, so you get the
I'm talking about doing the game. I'm just talking about doing the game.
I'm just saying to go into overtime. Like, yeah, Dan Campbell, he's been it's a line. It's a thin line between aggressive and reckless. And Dan Campbell was reckless in this game.
Yeah.
Period.
He was that last when he went for it after the penalty. He was.
But you know, the last play, they called a good play. But what's the name? Goff, he took too long to throw it. So the defense was able to get over there. But that dude, if he had threw it sooner, that dude would have walked right in for that 2-point conversion.
Yeah, he probably would have. But he didn't.
He didn't. Marcus, who did you have?
You know, I picked the Cowboys, and I called it right. I said that Dak and CeeDee Lamb was going to tear them up, and that's exactly what they did. And that's why I say he was going for it in fourth downs, and he went for that 2-point conversion because he was scared of what was going to happen once the Cowboys got the ball back. And, you know, even if they would have got the 2-point conversion, I felt like, they had 23 seconds left on the clock.
23 seconds and 2 timeouts.
I really, like I said, the way they was
one of the best kickers in the game.
Aubrey, exactly.
The way they was letting CeeDee Lamb run up and down that field, I think Cowboys probably still could have won. So, you know, hopefully they see him again. They might be able to pull something out, but I picked the Cowboys, and I was right.
Red brought up a good point about CD. I was playing Darian. He had CD in that game, so I was happy and sad at the same time. CD just kept getting fantasy points, but he was getting me points to win. For my boys to win, so I was in a conundrum.
So did you win a championship?
Yes.
Oh, you suck,
Mark.
And the person who took over your team, Marcus, won the championship.
Shut up, Herman. When they talk about that, talk about the one I won, not the one I lost.
Sorry.
Hey, I took the Cowboys on this one, man. I'm not taking anything away from the Cowboys' victory, but they benefited off some bad coaching decisions for sure. I even go back to the early in the game where Detroit was down there in Cowboys territory, and they went for it on fourth down and didn't get it. Mm-hmm. Kick the field goal, man. The 3 points came back to haunt you. You gotta kick the field goal in those situations, especially when you're not when you're away and you playing a team that has a pretty much potent offense, a good offense. You do not take points off the board. You put it on there, and them not kicking that field goal early and going for fourth down and not getting it end up being a big backbreaker. And then we talked about the play and all. I think he should have after he got the call back from the Cowboys penalty, he should have kicked the extra point and played his hand with trying to go into overtime. But yeah, I took the Cowboys in this one and they won it.
I think Dan Campbell must have hired Brandon Staley as his offensive consultant or something.
Something, bro.
He got 5 minutes on.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know, man. Dan Campbell been doing that since he took over the Lions, so he got his own little specialty.
That's true.
All right, Herman, tell him why the Cowboys was the best team and deserved to win.
That's not what we're talking about, sir. We're talking about picks.
I'm sorry, Herman. Who did you pick?
Of course, I picked the Cowboys. This game was a good game. It was closer than it really had to be, in all honesty. There was the questionable tripping call where Dallas could have actually ran the clock out, and we wouldn't even have had the big controversy. But there was also Mike McCarthy calling 3 pass plays after that tripping call. He was after that tripping call, and didn't run any clock out. You put a little bit too much pressure on your defense sometimes, but CD and Dak, they was on the same page. They was balling out. Detroit's defense is not what it's just not there. It's not really what it needs to be for them going into the playoffs right now. Dallas, you saw Dallas went up and down the field. The only reason Dallas didn't score more points is because of some of the penalties that Dallas had.
And the fumble thing, that was another. Yeah. That should have been a hot topic.
Yeah. But I did pick the Cowboys, and I got that right. And Detroit, talking about if we see them again, be careful what you wish for.
All right, so let's talk about the new game we're going to pick. We don't really need to talk about the rest of them, do
we? Why not,
Marcus?
How we just skip?
All right. The next game we're going to talk about are the Packers at the Vikings. The Packers went to Minnesota and beat the Vikings 33-10. 470 total yards on 73 plays is what the Packers did to the Vikings defense. The offense threw for 293 yards, rushed for 177 yards, had 0 interceptions, 0 sacks, and held time of possession 37 minutes and 32 seconds to 22 minutes and 28 seconds. Hey, man, what are you doing? Take that thing off.
No, sir.
Mark, who'd you have?
Yeah, I took the Vikings in this one, and I don't know why. Hey, man, Jaren Hall, the quarterback, is DOA. He was dead on arrival. By the time they realized this dude was not had a chance, it was just too late. They had jumped out on him too soon, too early. He was 5 of 10 for 67 yards.
And 1 interception.
And also taking 2 sacks and a lost fumble. I didn't think that we had this type of performance out of the Vikings, looking at what they did the last couple of weeks. But, yeah, the Packers had too many answers for the Vikings, and they just dominated them. But I took the Vikings in this one.
Yeah, I was with you, Mark, and I took the Vikings as noted because Marcus has on the hat, which is embarrassing and it's in its own right. But and Mark, I'm looking at it and I'm like, why the hell did I pick the Packers? And I mean the Vikings. And I know why. I know why. It was because the wide receiving core. I thought that the wide receivers were going to be the definitive thing, and I thought that the defense would do better. I did not anticipate this year at all. But you got to give it to the Packers. They came out, they lit them up, they did what they had to do. Herman, and you're done coughing. Who'd you have?
Yeah, I went with the Vikings on this one too. I'm just so sick of these coaches, man. You put in Jaren Hall. Why? Why didn't you just start Nick Mullins? I know Mullins had a couple turnovers last week, but you put in Jaren Hall. He did absolutely 0, and then you go right back to Mullins.
After you're getting your butt kicked already.
Make it sense. Like literally make it make sense. It's the level of stupidity to me is just ridiculous. Like stick with Mullins, run plays where he's not putting the ball at such a high risk of turnover, and work with the dude. He was pretty decent, I think, last week, and even when he came in relief here, he did okay. But this stupid going back and forth between quarterbacks, it's the dumbest thing in the world, and it's annoying. On the flip side, the Packers, man, they're hot right now. Jordan Love is playing good football. They win Sunday, and they're in the playoffs. They're going to be a tough out. So unless they play the Cowboys. I'm not that worried. I did pick Minnesota, and I got this one wrong.
All right. So the next game we're going to talk about. I forgot.
You know, like Brian just said,
Marcus,
I don't know.
I didn't say it was your turn yet.
It's my turn. It's my turn. You know, like Ryan just said, I don't know why y'all didn't pick with me. Because stupid. I don't know what made y'all thought that the Vikings with whatever that dude's name is, Jaron Hall was gonna beat the Green Bay Packers. That was crazy to me. And what was even worse is, you know, they before the game they showed all Jaron Hall's parents, people, they all came out. You know, they came a long distance, got last minute plane tickets, probably paid extra price for last minute plane tickets, and came to see it get benched. It's just sad. But yep, of course I picked the Packers. The Packers are hot right now, and they did win. Next time, pick with me. You won't go wrong.
Was Jared Hall? Was he when we picked? Did they say he was the starter?
I don't think so.
I think we thought Mullins was starting.
I think so too.
Yeah, I think they decided to put him in late in that week.
Yeah.
Why did you just ain't go with Dobbs?
Dobbs,
Dobbs
they moved away from him. He's done.
That was like a 2-week thing. All right, the next game we had was supposed to be a preview of the championship for the AFC, but Dolphins at the Ravens. Sunday night was all Ravens as they destroyed the Dolphins 19-56 Sunday night. Why did I say Sunday night twice? The defense got 2 picks, 3 sacks, kept Tyreek Hill under 100 yards. Both teams did run well. Miami ran for 154 yards. The Ravens ran for 160. And the time of possession was close, 29 minutes and 37 seconds to the Dolphins, 30 minutes, 23 seconds to the Ravens. In this particular game, it was pretty simple. I picked the Ravens. I picked this one correctly. Herman, who did you have?
I also had the Ravens. I've been saying probably for the last 6 weeks that the Ravens are the best team in the NFL right now, and they backed it up. The Ravens won 56-19. That was their, I think that was the most points scored on the second most points scored on Miami. The first most points scored on Miami was 59 points. And guess who did that? The Ravens.
Baltimore.
Yeah. So, yeah, I picked the Ravens. Like I said, they're just all around the best team in the league right now, and they're all the ones to beat.
Marcus.
Yeah, of course. I also picked the Ravens. You know, like I was saying, Miami, you know, they kind of soft. I like they're hard. You know, Ravens are known for being a hard team, coming in and putting somebody in the mouth. And that's what they did, you know. They just couldn't stop them. Like we said, Lamar had 5 touchdowns. Then Tyler Huntley came in there and threw 1 more touchdowns. They pretty much did whatever they wanted to do on the Dolphins. And, you know, next year, the Dolphins really got to improve their game and improve their defense.
The season's not over now, Marcus. They're in the playoffs.
they're going to be one and done. They're going to be one and done.
No way.
The Dolphins,
they're not going to be one and done.
They're going to be one and done. They're going to be one and done. But I picked the Ravens, and I was right.
And Mark.
Yeah, I took the Ravens I was with you all in this one, man. But I tell you, you know, looking at the stats, it wasn't that much of a dominating stat total for the Ravens. It's just a turnover part. Dolphins turned it over 3 times, and the Ravens only turned it over once. But the Ravens scored in every one of those turnovers. Hey, I tell you one thing I was worried about the Dolphins was, and I said at the beginning of the season was, would the injury bug derail this team? It might start to derail this team. They lost one of their top pass rushers in this game too, Hubbard,
Chubb.
And I think that's going to be a big key on them putting pressure and you know putting you know a defense in a bad spot in a bad area. But I took the Ravens. They won it. What can I say?
All right. Next game we're going to talk about was the Bengals traveling to the Chiefs. The Chiefs were the Chiefs on Sunday. They won 25-17 against the Bengals. The Chiefs caught the ball to the tune of 241 yards and ran the ball for 132 yards. The Bengals threw the ball for only 159 yards, but they did run the ball for 104 yards. The Chiefs' defense shut the Bengals out in the second half. That's crazy. So all the points they scored was in the first, and then after that, it was over. Marcus, I'm sorry, Herman, who'd you have?
Yeah, I don't really believe in the Chiefs, but I did pick them to win this game. Browning pretty much turned back into the pumpkin that he was. I still just don't feel like the Chiefs are where they need to be going into the playoffs. They will get a home game, so that is the one advantage they do have. But if somebody like Buffalo has to go in there and play the Chiefs, I believe Buffalo can pull that out. But I did pick the Chiefs in this one, and I did get this one right.
Mark?
Yeah, I took the Chiefs also. Like you said, Kansas City had to rally from 10 points down to come back and take the lead in the fourth quarter. They just shut down the Bengals. Their defense just shut down the Bengals offense. Hey, man, what's happening to Kelsey, man? I mean, we ain't heard too much of
Taylor Swift
the last couple of games, man.
He only had 3 receptions for 16 yards.
Yeah. Isaiah Pacheco was the main man. Every time I turn around, you see he got a weird run. Where you looking on the ground, running. Every time I turn around, he was making a big play. But Kansas City, they pulled it out. I picked the Kansas City Chiefs, and they won it.
Yeah, I was with you guys. I picked the Chiefs, but like Herman, I wasn't very comfortable with my pick because the Chiefs just haven't been the Chiefs all year long. Like I said, the receivers did catch the ball this week, which was a good thing for them. Hopefully they can keep that up. But again, it is a big question mark what's going on with Kelsey. I mean, he's just not the same player that he was. And if you had him in fantasy, you probably lost your championship.
Yeah.
All right, Marcus, spin that hat.
You big dummy.
You big dummy.
You should have checked with us.
Yeah, you're so smart one game and so dumb the next. Go ahead.
Well, it's the season that the Chiefs had, I just wasn't. I should have picked the Bengals. I feel like if Joe Burrow would have been there, they'd have won that game. I'd have been right. But
we all would have picked the Bengals if Joe Burrow was there.
Right.
But yeah, I picked the Chiefs look terrible, but that's what I get for picking against them. But it is what it is, and like we just said, Travis Kelsey. Travis Kelsey, I believe if I heard this right, he's the oldest starting tight end in the league. So
yeah, that's right.
That might be what's going on. Age might be catching up with him, and also probably got too much focus on Taylor Swift. He might need to break up with her
too much jet setting.
I need to break up with her in the off season. But yes, I did pick the Bengals, and I believe too much in whatever Jake Browning, whatever his name is, and I was wrong.
And what happened to Jamar Chase in that game?
Nothing.
He talked all that stuff on how the Chiefs didn't have nobody and all this other stuff. Didn't even show up. All right, fellas. Last game we're gonna talk about is the Saints at the Bucks. The Saints got the dub, beating the Bucks 23-13. Saints defense shut the Bucks out until the fourth quarter. Got 2 picks, a fumble, 2 fumble recoveries, and 2 sacks. The Bucks were 2 for 8 on third down, and of course they lost the time of possession battle, 23 minutes and 22 seconds to 36 minutes and 38 seconds. In this particular game, Marcus, who did you have?
I picked the Buccaneers. They have been hot. Bakerfield have been doing his thing for the last couple weeks, but I was wrong. They Saints said no, not today, sir, not today, Baker. And they came in there and they pretty much dominated that game. I believe the Buccaneers. My stats aren't. I was acting up, but they were scoreless for a very long time in this game. So I picked the Buccaneers, and I was on the bandwagon, and I fell off. I was wrong.
All right, Marcus, I picked you first so that you can start your things up so we know.
I already got it total up, sir.
All right, I'm just making sure. All right, so I was with you. I mean, I'm sorry, I was not with you. I picked the Buccaneers to win this game. I thought Bakerfield was baking, like you said, but I mean that was kind of embarrassing. And,
Wait. Who did Marcus pick?
I picked the Buccaneers.
Okay.
Oh, okay. I'm sorry. I thought you picked it. All right. So we both were dumb. So we picked it wrong. Mark. Who did you have?
What are you putting up there?
Because you want to talk trade, I'm gonna show you. I've already calculated.
Did you pick it?
He just finished adding it up. He just finished adding it up and decided to show us. That's all.
Whatever.
I took the Bucs on this one too, y'all. The Saints making their little desperate attempt to make the playoffs. I didn't think that they were coming in and treat the Bucs the way they treated them. I thought the Saints didn't really have too much to play for in this particular game. I thought they was going to come out flat, but they didn't. They put it on them, and I got it wrong.
And Herman.
Yeah, I had the Bucs in this one too. Picked them because they had been hot. If they had won, they would have won the division. And now, the Saints, tied it up. They're both 8-8, and the Saints have a chance to win the division.
Sure, like the Saints, the Bucs, and the Falcons, I think have a chance to win that division.
All of them do. So it's crazy. It makes for good football, but when you have that opportunity, you got to seize that moment. And Bakerfield, he just didn't do what he needed to do. When he got going, it was too late at that point. So I picked the Bucs, and I got it wrong.
Didn't we all pick the Saints to win the division at the beginning of the season?
I did.
I think so.
I think I did.
I did. I definitely did.
I mean, it's still a chance. It's still a chance.
It's still possible.
All right, fellas, how'd y'all do?
4-2.
4-2.
4-2.
4-2. Okay, so we're all 4-2. So not bad, not bad. Marcus could have been 5-1 if he had listened to us, but that's a whole nother conversation.
Shut up.
Yeah.
He's my best friend.
Shut up.
All right, guys, let's go ahead and get into these predictions for this season coming up now. We tried to pick all the games. This week. We tried to pick games that had to deal with the playoffs, like a winner-in scenario. So the first game we picked is the Pittsburgh Steelers at the Baltimore Ravens. This is a Saturday night game. The Steelers are 9-7. The Raiders are 13. Ravens are 13-3. The Steelers are actually getting 3.5 in this game. Who do you think is going to win this one, Marcus?
At first, I had picked the Ravens, but now I'm changing that pick to the Steelers. Even with Lamar not starting and Tyler Huntley playing, I believe they can still win this game. But this is a division game. The Steelers, you can never count out Mike Tomlin team. Steelers got something to play for. If they win this game, they got a possibility of getting the playoffs. I think the Steelers are going to play real hard. Harder than the Ravens. Ravens don't have anything to do. They can't improve, so I'm going to go with the Steelers.
Herman?
Hey, Mark, is Pickens playing this week?
No, Pickens is not.
He's
Mason
backing
Rudolph
up.
is starting.
Because he didn't want to back him up last week, but that's a whole nother story.
He didn't say that.
Why would Pickett be starting? Why would they even start Pickett?
Because he's healthy. They can still get in the playoffs.
Yeah. He's healthy.
But he sucks.
Wow.
He's better than Mason Rudolph.
Yeah, give me the Steelers. I'm going with the Steelers on this one. I think Ravens are sitting people. They're not gonna play much.
Yeah, I'm with you guys because of the not because I think the Ravens are the worst team, but I think that the Steelers have more to play for, and the Ravens are just resting, getting ready for the playoffs. Yeah. Give me Pittsburgh. All right, Mark, are you actually going to dog your team one more year?
Drum roll, please.
I don't have that sound effect, sir.
Hey, man. Mike Tomlin is on his 17th non-losing season. 17th. He's done a dramatic, fantastic coaching job. Thank you this year. I did not believe in Mason Rudolph. I did not want him to play the last couple of games. Has he proved me wrong? With that, I'm gonna say I'm taking the Steelers because the Ravens really don't have anything to play for. But you can take the records and throw it out the windows. The players, it's an NFC. North battle. They're gonna fight it out, but I'm taking the Steelers.
All right. Next game we're going to talk about is the Texans, the 9-7 Texans at the 9-7 Colts. The Texans are giving up 1.5 in this particular game. This game can definitely determine who can win the South. Not only is the Texans or the Colts could win the division if the Jaguars lose. But whoever wins this game is in the playoffs. Herman, who do you think got the win on this one?
I'm rolling with the Texans. I do believe that Shroud is playing.
Yes.
So yeah, I'm going with the Texans on this one. I think this should be a good one. I think the Texans will pull this one out, and I think they're going to get in the playoffs.
Mark,
I'm gonna agree with you on that one, Herman. I'm taking the Texans. I think that young team is hot and is ready. I'm taking the Texans to beat them.
yeah, I think we're all kind of in accord on this one. I think the Texans are the better hot team. And the Colts have a lot of injuries coming up right now. I mean, they still don't have Moss. I think they lost a wide receiver. So give me the Texans. Marcus?
Yeah, I'm also going to take the Texans. They're hot. C.J. Stroud is going to be playing. And I just got way more faith in him than I do the Colts. So I'm picking the Texans.
All right. So the next game we were talking about is possibly for the Division 2. The 7-9 Falcons at the 8-8 Saints. The Saints are giving up 3 in this particular game, depending on what happens with the Bengals. I'm sorry, not the Bengals. The
Buccaneers.
Mm-hmm. Either of these teams, the team that wins this game could actually win the South. It's good, but I just don't have any faith in the Falcons coaching staff. They have good players, but they don't use them like they're supposed to. I think the Saints will do enough to get this win. I will take the Saints. Mark, who do you got?
Oh, when those Saints come marching in. Oh, when the Saints, man.
Herman.
Yeah, I'm rolling with the Saints. The Falcons are doing that stupid QB crap, going back and forth between Heineke and Ritter. So I'm no.
And they won't use Bijan. I don't understand.
Yeah, and they won't use Bijan, and then Pitts is barely getting used. Make it make sense.
Marcus.
Yeah, I'm also going to take the Saints. I believe a little more in the Saints. Not too much more, but I believe in them more than I believe in the Falcons. And Arthur Smith is probably going to get fired the day after this game is over. So I'm going to go ahead and take the Saints.
All right, the next game is not for the division. I mean, not for the division, but for the Packers to get into the playoffs. We have the 7-9.
You missed the game, sir.
I'm sorry, I did. I'm sorry. We're talking about the Jaguars. So since we talked about the AFC South, the Jaguars are 9-7 at the Titans, who are 5-11. The Jags are giving up 5.5 in this particular game. Jaguars win. Jaguars get the South. So, Marcus, since you fixed my problem, who you think is going to win?
Yeah, I'm definitely taking the Jaguars. Titans are not good this year. Mike Vrabel is blowing up at the press. There's like a little bit of disarray right in Tennessee right now. And just they don't really have anything to play for. I mean, they could play spoiler, but I don't think they have what it takes to play spoiler. I'm going to take the Jaguars.
Mark?
Yeah, I'm agree with you on it, Marcus. I think the Jaguars got a whole lot to play for. Titans are they're just too done this year. So I'm taking the Jags also.
Yeah, the Titans, they do have something to play for. They're playing to knock the Jaguars out of the playoffs.
To be spoilers.
They're trying to be a spoiler, and they're trying to end their season on the right note. That all being said, I don't think it's going to happen. I think that the Jaguars, with their running game and with their wide receivers, I think they got enough to get it done. Give me the Jags. Herman?
Rolling with the Jags on this one. I'm not sure if Trevor Lawrence is starting or not.
He's starting.
Then that's a simple. Well, give me the Jags. The Titans already packed the U-Haul trucks.
All right, we over our time frame. Good job, guys. All right.
Long-winded. Actually, we're not. We're about 6 seconds from it. But
your clock is slow, buddy.
No, it's not.
All right. So the Bears, 7-9 at the Packers, 8-8. Again, this is for the Packers to get into the playoffs. The Packers
at the Bears, sir. Packers at the Bears.
Well, the Packers at the Bears. The Packers are giving up 3 in this particular game. Mark, who do you think is going to win?
Packers have a lot to play for. Bears really don't. I'm taking the Packers in this one.
Yeah, No, well, the Bears do have something to play for. I mean, Justin Fields is still auditioning for this job and hoping that the Bears don't use that number 1 draft pick on another quarterback. The Bears have been hot, and they've been playing really some good ball. But I'm with you, Mark. I think the Packers have a little bit more to play for. So they're playing in Lambeau. So give me the Packers. Marcus, stop making a noise now. We're doing a show.
Sorry.
Okay. Who do you think is going to win?
My bad. Much like the game we just talked about, the Bears they can play a spoiler to the Packers, but I don't think they will. I think the Packers are going in and going to win. I think John Love is going to make his first playoffs as a starting quarterback. Picking the Packers.
Now, Herman, like last year, the Lions spoiled the Packers from making the playoffs. You don't think it's any way that the Bears can do it?
Actually, Brian, I do believe that the Bears are going to beat the Packers. Play my
music. Sound like a sick wolf.
No, I know, right?
You died.
Well,
so
you ain't a sick wolf.
You ain't leader of the pack anymore. They're gonna leave you behind.
Right, they're gonna kill me. But yeah, I'm gonna go with the Bears. The Bears have been playing kind of hot too.
Yeah.
And I just think that's their motivation is y'all coming home with us.
And they already said that they're keeping Eberflus, so he will be there next year.
Really?
Yep.
Yeah.
All right, guys. Last game is the game of the week. This is for the AFC East Championship. The Bills 10-6 at the Dolphins 11-5. Bills are giving up 3 in this particular game. Mark, I know you're going with them Dolphins.
Check this out. The scenario is this: if the Bills win, they clinch the number 2 seed. The Bears. The Buffalo gets out of playoffs if Pittsburgh wins and the Jaguars win. They are not in the playoffs. This is crazy.
If they lose, you mean, right?
What's that?
Yeah, if
they
lose.
Because if they win, they're
right,
in. Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
If they lose, yes, correct. If they lose. I flipped the coin, but it rolled in the chair. I'm still taking the Bills on this one. Go Bills Mafia.
Marcus.
Yeah, as much as the Bills have been up and down this year, and as great as the Dolphins have been playing, I'm going to take the Bills. I'm also with Bills Mafia. Dolphins are soft. I'm taking the Bills. Bills are going to win and get the number 2 seed.
Herman.
I'm actually going to go with the Dolphins on this one. I think a lot of the top teams have stumbled a little bit late in the season, and the Dolphins are just going through their little stumble right now. I think they're going to go into the playoffs. They still have that dynamic offense that they can score on you from all over the field. So give me the Dolphins.
Herman, I went through this whole scenario to set it up so that I could lone wolf this game. But you and me always think alike, and that's starting to bother me. But I agree with you. I think that the Buffalo Bills have been playing up and down and up and down. I think that they beat the Dolphins earlier this week, but that was in London. This game is at the Dolphins Stadium. I think the Dolphins win this game and take the championship. And I think it's a strong possibility that the Buffalo Bills are at home at the end of the day.
You think they're what at the what?
I think the Buffalo Bills may be at home at the end of the day.
Okay.
I think their season may be over.
Yeah, not a home game. They'll be at home.
Yeah. All right, fellas. Y'all did awesome, man. This was a really good show, man. We had a lot of good topics, a lot of good interest, a lot of good conversation. What we're going to do right now is have our final thought, and then we'll pass it on to Marcus to get us out of here. And see, when I do the show, we ain't a half hour over, okay? See? I do a good job, Marcus. Who wants to go first with their final thought?
I'll go.
Go ahead, Herb.
So the Cowboys have 7 players selected to the Pro Bowl.
Oh my God.
Zach Martin.
Dang, you were watching because that was on while we were doing the show.
Zach Martin. No, it came across my feed. On my phone.
Okay.
Zach Martin, his 9th selection. Michael Parsons, his 3rd selection. Dak Prescott, his 3rd selection. CeeDee Lamb, his 3rd selection. Brian Anger, the punter, his 2nd selection. Brandon Aubrey, ice in his veins, his 1st selection. And Deron Bland, his 1st selection. So congratulations to the Cowboys players. They got it.
That could have been a news story next week. It had to be the final thought.
I mean, we're still going to talk about the Pro Bowl next week anyway, so
wow.
We're probably going to talk about the
Look,
snubs.
let me do my final thought. You worry about your final thought, okay? Thank you.
Mark, you got a final thought?
Just want to say Happy New Year to everybody. I'm also sad that we're getting close to the end of the NFL season. So that's it. I'm just Happy New Year.
UFL's coming.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
The XFL and the,
Okay, so it is going to be called the USL.
UFL.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. I wanted to just thank everybody again for joining the show. I also wanted to offer my condolences to the Commanders on Sunday. No, I'm just teasing. No, but if there's any team, if there's anyone out there that Commander fan that's fed up and don't want to go to the game and just want to get them tickets away, I am readily available to take those for you. I would also like to thank my fellow fantasy players for playing this season. Finally got a championship after a long, long drought. I feel like Bill Belichick, is about to quit and retire like somebody else did up at the top. But got that championship. Darian, nice try. Talk all that stuff, but I'm the old man. I'm the champ. All right, Marcus, what you got to say?
I like Mark said, I just want to wish everyone a happy New Year. Hope you had a safe New Year, and hope you have a prosperous one to come. Here's to the next 362 days.
Yeah.
But we'll see you next week. Same bat time, same bat channel. Peace. We out.
Peace. Happy New Year.
Happy New Year. Go Cowboys.